Hello, how you doing? This is Jake McPherson. Let me flip my phone around so you can recall who I am. Alright, there you go. Hopefully that turns out pretty good. The last time you seen me was on the video on my 4.2 liter that had hydrolock out of a 1999 Ford F150 pickup. Okay? Now, I've been a few months and had kind of held off on doing the rest of the engine. The economy, I guess you could say, was the reason that happened. But I am here right now. It's a little dark right now, so I'm gonna use my cell phone with the light on it, and I'm gonna walk you through just a little briefly thing. As I told you before, the rest of my engine, when I put it together, I'm just going to I'm not going to bore you with tightening every bolt down, because when you put the heads on, it is actually a four-step sequence to put the heads on. You have to tighten the bolts up, and then you have to loosen them up. You have to tighten them up, loosen them up. It's all on torquespec.com how to do this. It's a 1999 Ford F-150 Ford F-150 XL. Anyways, I'm going to turn the camera back around and let you see where I'm at right now on this engine. The sun's going down, almost completely down, but I have enough light on my camera. I'm going to show you where I'm at with the engine, okay? Alright, now bear with me here. Alright, as you can tell, here's the water pump that I put on before, and the housing, and I finally got a synchronizer to go in here. The old synchronizer that goes in there is right there, and we have wobble between the top part there. If you watch real close, see that wobble? When they get wobbly like that, you're pretty much at the wear out point, and they begin to stick and jump, and you get erratic engine operation. Okay, so I have a new synchronizer to stick down in here. Right now, the engine is in timing. Everything's at top dead center. Okay, and I need to keep it like it's keep it at top dead center till I actually stab that synchronizer down into its position it goes. When I do that, I'll walk you through that. But before I do that, I'm going to actually work on the heads. And as you can see, I've already got them sitting on the engine. Okay, I have the bolts in place. These are new bolts. There's 4 along the bottom side there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the top side, you got 1, 2, 3. And then the first one back here, 4. Okay? And the same with the other side. I've already got the bolts in the positions they go in. So where I'm at right now, I'm going to torque these heads down. And after they're torqued down, the next thing I'm going to do on this is I'm going to put the lower intake manifold on, which sits right here. Okay? Everything is good on this engine right now. I haven't got that much more to go before I can drop it down in the truck, which I'm going to walk over here and show you real quick. Okay? Right here. I've got the transmission sitting right back in there. Okay? I put a new seal in the transmission right around the front shaft there, and I put a new one in the back on the tail shaft. Now, in order to get the transmission there, all I did was jack the engine up, jack the truck up, went from the passenger side of the vehicle, and you have adequate room there to slide the transmission up underneath of there. Then I turned it around, lifted the tail piece up, got it on the cross member where the transmission bolts down to it, and it's pushed back further up on that cross member to allow me room when I drop the engine back in the vehicle. Then I can slide the transmission up to the engine and start a bolt or two to get it pulled up to the engine and get it back together. Okay? So where we're at right now is precisely, I have to finish up on this engine in the next couple days because it's supposed to be getting cold, and I want to make sure that I tighten up the heads and stuff, that I torque them down with the warm weather that we still have, and utilize that. Then after I get the heads torqued down and the intake manifold on it, the upper intake manifold, and I'll stab this synchronizer gear, then that way I know it's in timing. Everything, if I turn the crankshaft, I don't have to worry about it being out of timing that way. Like I said, I don't have that much more to go, and I can drop the engine down in the truck and get this thing back together. I have a buyer for my truck for roughly $1,500, but I have to get it back together, get it started up, and let the guy hear it and drive it, whatever. But this engine's a good engine, and once I get it back together and get all the fluids in it and everything, then she'll be ready to rock and roll, and I'll shoot a video of that too. But tomorrow morning when I get up, I'm going to work on this. I'm getting the heads torqued down the rest of the way if I don't do it tonight. I'm going to do a little research, make sure I like double checking my knowledge to ensure that everything I'm doing, it don't hurt to double check and get and check your knowledge against other knowledge out there to make sure that you're absolutely 100% torquing these heads down right. They are aluminum. When you clean them, you don't want to gouge them by scraping them and you gouging them, because they will scrape easy. So you got to be careful on them. And I got the surfaces clean, smooth, and that's what I wanted to get done. So now the bolts are not tight; they're just hand tight, and for a reason, so they don't fall off the engine and scar anything up. So I'm almost done with the heads, and it won't take me that long to put the lower intake manifold on. And I got the fuel rail, and I've got the box up there for at the back side of the engine there. I have to do it before I have to put new clips in the little arms that are on that box before I can lower this engine down into the vehicle. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you about right now, but more than likely when I wake up in the morning, I'll cut another video, and I will decide if I'm going to go ahead and put the manifolds on the engine before I drop it down in there. I may very well do that, because if I put the manifolds on it with it out, you have less room. Yeah, you have less room. But the thing about it, once you put the manifolds on, you have brackets that actually bolt to the engine where you can hook chain to it to lower this thing down into the vehicle. And if not, you can at least hook a chain to the one bracket on the driver's side and the one on the passenger side, or get it through the actual manifold once it's torqued down on the engine. So I'll get back with you in the morning, and I'll fire this video up when it's daylight, and I'll go over it. Okay?